I have something very special for you. Are you sick of your boring life? Introducing the
KMS, stock up down.
Chip Chip.
And down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down.
Hello, how we doing? Episode 8, 3 up, 3 down. Still Fuss is out on a little sabbatical or whatever's going on. We wish him the best. I hope he's okay. We're waiting for him to come back. Today we have Timmy Fax, the guy who bailed out on Mike and the Minifans the other day. I'm just kidding. I know the real story. I'm not going to do that to you. Which was a pretty contentious Mike and the Minifans. It was pretty good. We have PRC, who I did watch Open Borders with you on it. I said on the show to Tooth Decay there that I asked him if it was Marshall University. He's like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot." It was Marshall University he was talking about, right?
Yeah, he was talking about Marshall.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if you meant like a soccer team on the show or whatnot. But anyway.
Maybe it was like, yeah, I'm talking about Marshall, comma, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Semicolon. Yeah, it'd be 2 independent clauses. Semicolon, you're a fucking idiot.
Jesus, he's sensitive. My God. I mean, you're getting rattled by Ted Sarandis. Ted Sarandis, he has a lot of opinions, but I always have that relationship with him where we're kind of like, he's like friends are close, enemies are closer. You know, Ted is what he is, but you can't get rattled by Ted because if you get rattled by Ted, what are you going to do when Kurt comes at you, right? So if I give him any advice, don't worry about it. I mean, I was the lowest of the low. So if you can, if you can get on Ted Sarandis is good. If I can get on the number 5 good part, or the ups or whatever he calls it, then anything's possible.
Or just don't worry about if you're on the list at all.
That's a good point.
Just keep it moving. Like, yeah, that's yeah.
Anyway.
It's usually not as deep as people make it out to be.
Yeah, it's a fun bit he does. Just go.
So I guess we'll start. We usually have a wheel, but I think we go with the guest. So we'll start with the ups. We're gonna go with Fax. I've been a little critical. If you can criticize anybody, we'll get to that. But we're going to start with the ups, and that's what he's good for. So let's get it going.
All right, yeah, for sure. My first up is definitely after Thursday night. It has to be Mutt because if anyone watched any part of the game, you saw that Mutt was the one who kind of took the best you could, taking the place of Kirk, in the way that he tried to take more of the shots and scored for the basketball team. And I think that's what helped out Mick a lot, was having Mutt actually play well. So he's my first up for sure because he just played really well. I mean, he started with the free throws the previous week and that's all he had. And then this time he was just cashing them in.
He's got the confidence now that John Warren's kind of still looking for a little bit, but he actually, when I was there, he kind of took like a really kind of hard fall too. I don't know if you caught that on the camera really, but like he got up, he was like grimacing, and I'm like, oh boy, I thought he was going to be going out, but he fought through it. And consistently, he has been playing hard.
Oh yeah,
the shot was eventually going to fall, and it did. So good for Mutt.
Yeah, you could always tell in his form, like even when he was missing the shots, that he had good form. So like. Right. I think everybody was kind of like, it's only a matter of time till that thing starts falling. So it was good to see.
And Mutt's in good shape. So he's an integral piece of the team. So good up. All right.
Oh yeah. He got the praise. Yeah. He got the praise for his defense for the most time. But like for me, that didn't really warrant like a complete, up in my eyes. But then once the defense and offense were together, it's like, okay, now you're like one of the higher contributors on the team. So now you're in the higher echelon of what you guys need to do in order to score and eventually win, because if he keeps that up, you can actually see the possibility of a win soon.
Yeah. Excellent.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm going to keep my first one. I'm just going to keep it in the basketball world and do it before anybody else steals it, because it's you could do this every week almost, but it's Josh. I think not only is he just day in, day out doing a great job, just, keeping it cool and doing a great job in the announcing booth, but I think when Jake Marsh left this week, that was a huge stock up for old Joshy boy. I think, when the Barstool broadcaster stove got turned up to Josh, Jake Marsh got the fuck out the kitchen And so I think it's just, I mean, Barstool's going to be doing a bunch of stuff, and they're going to need announcers all the time. It may not be for like a huge D1 college game or something, but putt, all that. And like, this is just a great opportunity for Josh to step in and really, really soar. Like, I think stock is way up on Josh.
Got anything on that, Timmy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree completely, because especially being with Kirk and being associated with Kirk, when something like you were saying, the mini golf comes up, that's like the perfect dude to fight for you. You know, if Kirk is like, oh, yeah, let's bring Josh along and have him announce this. Boom, that's an opportunity for Josh to go to Chicago or New York or wherever the fuck they decide to go next. But Josh is super solid. I love listening to him. I feel like I'm listening to fucking Kevin Harlan half the time. Get excited.
He's legitimately good. I mean, I know we've said that a million times now, but the guy is like, has real talent, and he's one of those guys that's very interesting to see where it's going to go. Am I going to be able to say I got the selfie with a guy that's like calling NBA games now at a rec basketball league? Maybe. I was happy to get a nice pick with him, you know. But the other guy who's kind of interesting too, that's kind of in that was, I think, has it in him too, and they haven't found it, is that Bobby Costa guy. He's got something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see what they're going to pull out of him, but yeah, that's a good up. So I got to go. We do a snake draft, and we got 3, so I'll go 2. My first one, honestly, is going to go, and I think Gus is going to get hired at Barstool. I don't know how I always feel. I don't know exactly how I feel about Gus. I think Mick on his podcast brought up a lot of great points about him, that he is a me guy. But to be honest, when you're a me guy, that kind of gets you to that next level in a way. You got to care about yourself, you know, and you put yourself first. And those are like Chris Klemmer is a good example, because that's exactly what he did. Chris Klemmer is about Chris Klemmer, you know, and it got him there. So I'm rooting for Gus to get there, because it'll be a great story. A guy that got fired. I just auto put on an episode, and once in a while I'll do that. And it came up. It was about Kirking off. And I think it was the first time Kirk ever talked about Gus. He was ripping the shit out. It's just funny that he was just on some show. He came up, he got hired. Now he may be working at Barstool. You know, it's an unbelievable story. You know, I don't know. I wonder about him being on his own and being productive. I think when you're with Kirk, he makes you be productive one way or another, because he doesn't let stuff go and they talk about it on the air. When you're left to your own devices, I don't know if that's his best setting, but if you get in, you're pretty much in. And if you get in, you'll be there and you'll be able to stay. And he doesn't really fire many people. So great for Gus. Good run here.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a great idea of him staying after for the case race. Like I heard some mumbling on Twitter and stuff about oh, why is he just hanging around there in the case race? Why is he just kind of just hanging there? Like the next day, the Yak, they were all just very Gus was a huge help. We loved having Gus there. To your point, Kane, it really pays off to do those extra little things like that. So
no question.
Yeah.
And he's got balls too. He reaches out to Big Cat, wants to bring him on his shows. He doesn't care what people think.
Yeah.
And he's not sensitive, you know, and that's a big piece of why I think he's going to get there. And he is entertaining. I said I'm like a minute fans. My daughter went to the game, and the only person she came out thinking about was Gus. So it just tells you something. The guy has something, you know. He is an interesting guy. So I'm rooting for him.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think that when you're just there, no matter how awkward it is or weird it is, if Gus is just standing there, but the fact that he did it anyways, and like you were saying, Kane, the fact that he didn't care, so that's where you can thrive in those awkward moments, and ended up paying off, because he stayed around, and it was probably really weird because everyone was saying okay, this dude's just kind of just standing here, but then boom, the next day they're talking about him. Or he was on the Yak and his face was on camera and people saw him. The gauntlet was horrendous, but it was good content.
Yeah, exactly.
His face is there. Everyone knows his face, and the Yak has a huge audience. So,
and Gus is full of that terrible content that's funny. He just naturally is, like Kirk always says, brain dead, and it works. It does work. So I mean, he does have something that's unique, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm rooting for him. All right, second one. I'm going to go kind of maybe a little bit of a different route. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Which way should I go here? You know what? I'm going to go beanbag round. Now, I find it, I don't know if it's just me, but he looks so much different in person than he does on the camera. I don't know why, but he has played his fucking ass off. Now, that guy Luke, that idiot, said he agreed with Mick sitting Beanbag Ron when Kirk wasn't there. I mean, it's the dumbest take of all time. Beanbag Ron led the team in points, rebounds, assists, I guess probably turnovers too, but and steals on the team. And he plays hard. Not only is he one of the better defenders, I don't want to say anything. I mean, Kirk plays hard too. Beanbag Ron probably plays the hardest out of anybody. Like you said, he never missed a practice. The idea he was going to sit on the bench, I don't know. Beanbag Ron is one of the reasons I go. I like watching him play. I mean, he's not like classically, like they nail him for his jump shots, but he plays everything else. It's kind of like almost like a Tony Allen in a way. Couldn't really hit the shot, but he could drive. Plays great defense, and he actually makes a lot of other. If he didn't play with all those assists, they may have scored 10 points in that game, the last game. I mean, he was that good. I don't know what people were thinking that were kind of like. I heard. I mean, obviously just busting his balls, but he played exceptionally well on Thursday night.
Yeah, like
all season's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like shout out to the 2025 World Champs, Indiana Pacers. Beanbag Ron reminds me a lot of T.J. McConnell. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, T.J. McConnell doesn't have the greatest jump shot, but he always is moving. He's always creating stuff. The turnovers are just kind of like a natural of someone who hustles and run around and is with the ball that much. Turnovers are going to happen. I'll take the turnovers with all the good shit he does with all the hustling. But yeah, he's a lot like TJ McConnell. I really like how he just hustles out there. Good call.
Oh yeah, and his steals too. His steals were always like almost perfectly timed because he wasn't scoring a lot on Thursday, but every time he stole the ball, he almost always had open space. Like it's almost like he times it and waits till the offense pushes all the way up, whether it's intentional or not. It was always just like the perfect steal at the perfect time to give him like a wide open break. So he made up for his like lack of scoring with his defense that night and he's faster than fucking everybody. Like I would get so tired guarding him.
And it's so hard. I mean, it goes overlooked, but it was so fucking hot in there. Like the fact that he did not stop. I was shocked. I think it was maybe Penners. He was saying he didn't have a stock up for Ron because he's used to him doing these things. You can't discount the heat. The other guys, you could see they were all laboring. He never stopped. I mean, he just plays so hard. So, Beanbag Ron has been just a pleasure to watch on the court. So it was exciting to see and good pick.
All right. My second pick, I'm going to move, kind of basketball, but not really. I'm going to move into the kind of the white spaces. When they evaluate signatures to see if they're real or fake, the thing they look for is not the signature, it's the space in between. Hold on to that metaphor, see where I'm going. In the Kirk Minahan signature right now, we are kind of in the white space. It's summer. He's kind of taking a break. We're kind of, and I think two people, Phil the Minifan, and Murchison's Mouse have done a great job filling in during that white space and providing content, entertainment, keeping us in the loop during this kind of lull that we're having. So I just want to shout out them and give them some props for doing stuff and producing content.
Did they send you the payment through Venmo or PayPal or what? What's going on here?
We don't talk numbers. I'm just giving them a shout out. All right.
I like Minifan Phil is great. He brings, I think it's his wife. I don't know, girlfriend. She's really nice dude. This guy is the super nice guy. I mean, just a great guy. So, go ahead. Anything on that facts?
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say,
Phil guy.
Yeah, I'm a huge Phil guy.
Yeah,
Phil's fucking amazing. I love Phil. He's so nice and he's always down to just have a good time. That's the kind of dude that you need. You need a glue guy. That's Phil. Because no matter what, whether you're like shitting on him or whether you're praising him, he's the same dude. Phil's great. Yeah, and then Murchison's Mouse, ever since he got slapped around by Kirk, has kind of been a little more positive these days. So yeah, I like that show. I find that show pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah,
good picks. I like that. Facts, you're up.
Yes, my up has to go. You cannot not mention this. It has to go to Justin. Justin scored not only once but twice, and it was awesome. I don't know how big it was or how loud it was in the gym, like from your perspective, Cam, but it was loud over the stream. And even myself, just like watching it, literally sitting there on my phone, like in the dark in my bed, just like trying to be quiet. Justin was scoring, and I was like, "Oh, let's go!" Try not to like wake up my kids or anything. So hyped to see that, but it was awesome to see Justin because he's never played before, and in all reality, that's probably the best person for Kirk to have because he just tells Justin exactly what to do and when to do it. And the shots that he made were insane. Like they were just like these putbacks looking like an actual center. I loved that, but I love Justin scoring. That was awesome. Huge up for him.
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of, actually. When I seen him hit that shot, he kind of like threw it up off the backboard. He like kind of put his hand up. He reminds me of that guy from you ever seen that movie Teen Wolf, 85 Teen Wolf? That guy, like he's the big, I think his name is, I looked it up here, Mark Holton. You ever seen that movie?
The big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminds me of just kind of like throws a shot up and goes in. It's pretty funny. I thought he got a huge eruption too. They like when he comes in, so the crowd loves him. He's a crowd favorite. But I thought Coleman actually I should put him on my stock up. I ripped him last week. He played really well the last game. He played hard. I thought he had a really good effort. But Justin's a good pick.
Yeah. His putbacks. Coleman had a lot of like good effort wise. You know, he wasn't scoring all the points, but the thing about Coleman, like the one positive that he has in basketball, like because his shooting form is absolute shit.
Oh my God!
But his footwork is actually not bad.
It's not bad. You're right.
Like his fakes are actually good in the sense, but if he just learned how to put up a shot, he would be scoring 10 times more than he does now. Like he would be getting like a solid 8 to 10 points a game because he's always there in the paint.
That other guy he was going against was actually decently athletic, so he kind of was putting up, like he's like a more athletic Coleman. And he just kept swatting him. I'm like, why is he doing the same thing every time getting swatted? Then he went back and he started doing some some footwork, and it's nice plays. He had a great game. I thought he played hard.
Oh yeah.
All right, you got a second one, Fags.
Yep. My last up, it has to go to the man himself, Kirk Minahan. My last up is because not only did he have a pretty good performance on the dozen, but specifically in regards to his commentary afterwards. It's just always fun to see Kirk kind of just being the center of the main Barstool world because he's so removed whenever he's doing his own show, and then just seeing him integrated with everyone else, he doesn't change at all. He's still ripping people. He's still doing his thing. And I loved his commentary because I don't really watch the dozen, to be honest with you. I'll watch like the ones that with teams that I'm interested in. So like I'll watch the Booze Ponies because Will is hilarious and Dana's hilarious, and I'll watch Kirk's team because I love watching Rico and Hank just like try to bury him. But Kirk's commentary was hilarious. And then the one show we got this week, actually, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like amazing, but it was still just like a good show with Kirk shooting the shit. So
it was one of the better Chicago shows, I thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes those shows it's tough. I mean, I know it's a hard thing to have to do. And the last time they did, they were coming off Surviving Barstool or something, right?
It was,
and
it
like,
was some.
Oh,
I think it was the mini golf.
It was the basketball,
the free throws.
Yeah, the free throws, and he was like wicked tired. That first show was not great. I mean, he was asleep. And then they kind of, so this one was pretty good. And
I like this one.
Yeah, the dozen too is. I don't know how many fans. I liked it last year when they were good. I thought this year when they were sucking. I was like, it wasn't for me. But there's some were saying though they were wondering Manners, I guess. I was wondering should he have came back for that basketball game. But then they made a good point in the Mike and the Minifans. It's a sponsored event. The winner gives the trophy. I thought about that a little more. I mean, it's his friend. I mean, I would definitely help my friend. So. But there is the thing when you have those guys running suicides on Memorial Day weekend, that makes you wonder maybe, I don't know. It's a funky line, but I guess when you work for a company, you're going to support your friends. I guess that's definitely the route you go. So that's what I would do too. But I can understand from the fans' perspective because I don't think most of his fans care about the dozen,
Yeah.
But he does, so it doesn't really matter.
Very fair.
Smart move, Fax. Giving the.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, baby.
All right.
All right. My final up. Kane's going to love this one. Open Borders. I really think they're doing a great job, especially this last week. They had a great guest star on last week. I forget who it was, but he was just fantastic. Fax is on coming up. That's just another good get for them. They've been very active on Twitter. like I said, in the white spaces, you got to look for the people stepping up and doing stuff. And I think their stock is up. I would buy it now. It's on the come up.
Oh yeah.
Well, one of them is really good for sure. Jackson's a good guy. Can I say one thing though about the show? So there's a lot of shows on the network, right? So you have 3 Up, 3 Down. It's pretty obvious what's, it's pretty, you kind of understand the format. Drips in the Office makes sense. There's other shows that kind of, Menors at Midnight when he did it, Mike and the Minifans. These shows, Open Borders. I don't. Can you give me the elevator pitch? Because we never really got it. It kind of got muffled in the show. What is the show exactly about? What is the concept? Do you have any idea, PRC?
It's about everything and nothing at the same time, and it's beautiful. It's the Yak meets international relations, I think would be the most succinct way to put it. I will do the objective opinion on it. The Marshall talk when it starts out for 10 minutes is a little long, but it's also hilarious if you get into it. But it's just guys being dudes, just talking about stuff in life and having a good time. And the Yak does the same thing. They just get in there and they just vibe and talk about cool stuff. And Open Borders does the same. And I mean, if you're looking for something structured like this or like a clip show or something like that, you're not going to find it there. So I wouldn't recommend going there if you're that kind of fan. But if you're a fan of just good old fashioned fun and people vibing, Open Borders is the place.
Is there segments that are always like that? Marshall must be an always, because I listened. He kind of had a good 5-minute thing on all different things for Marshall. Is Marshall's always part of?
Oh yeah, it was definitely part of this week. We talked about Marshall for a little bit, but
you got to respect that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. I'm not even now. I'm just wondering. Actually, what is the Open Borders? Does it mean anything?
I think the true the meaning behind it is genuinely just because you have Jackson from Australia and then you have Luke from here in America, so it's just them talking about random shit, but also you kind of find the differences between Jackson and what he experiences in Australia, being a fan of shit over here, or what he experiences over there, and then Luke, what he does every day here, just like the rest of us. But like PRC said, it was the same deal when I was on. We were just shooting the shit, and then based on Jackson and I talking outside of the show, he was bringing up stuff for that my experiences. So there's a very, very interesting segment that I think, as Jackson said, is going to cause a lot of conversation in the Minifan universe that's coming out involving my work. So people are definitely going to be interested to hear what I have to say about a certain somebody. So,
oh wow,
ooh,
wow,
that was a nice little tease. This man is a pro, a fucking professional.
Wow.
Just yeah, I can't wait now.
Can you give us a hint, or you're not even going to think about that? Nothing.
No.
Can you give us anything? Anything?
It would be. It aligns with Kirk's beliefs. That's essentially what it is, and I didn't used to, but because of my experience with this person, I am now fully behind Kirk and his opinion on this person because of my personal experience. Okay. And you'll hear all about that. It was actually a legit personal experience that went over for a few months. So it's going to be very interesting.
Well, I'll be listening to that one now. Thank you. You sold me, buddy. All right. My last up, go a couple ways. I thought Coach Mick had a good week, but I'm not going to use him. I'm actually going to go with Barstool Tate, Ohio State. I thought Kelly Keegs was embarrassing the other night. I know she's crazy and I get it, but he made some actually pretty good legitimate points about her that he really the blog that he wrote really wasn't that bad. When you go back and read it, and she took it like nuclear. She can't get over it. He obviously doesn't give a fuck. He's just kind of riling her up, and she just can't handle it. And I understand it's not entertaining, and I from what people's perspective, it wasn't. Well, Dave Portnoy's perspective said he didn't like it because it seemed too personal. It wasn't even an entertaining fight to him. But I found it to be just a kind of how Barstool New York is. You know what I mean? If you criticize anybody over there, it seems like it turns into this thing where we're all supposed to be happy-go-lucky. And it had turned. Barstool doesn't seem. Maybe I'm overstating it. it's more her, I guess. She's just very sensitive, and it was just to be still mad about that. It just shows how fucking crazy she is. I mean, she really is nuts.
Yeah, she is definitely crazy, and I think even she would acknowledge that with no problem. And the thing for me is like I've never really had a problem with Kelly. Like I've never hated her, and I've never like loved her because like I thought she did good on Surviving Barstool when she was there, just like talking shit to everybody in the finals because she can like hang in that way, but with someone like Tate when he just came on. And it was very, very obvious that he was just trolling the whole time because I don't think he cares about it nearly as much as Kelly does. You saw her just get super, super rattled, and that's when I was like, "Ooh, damn!" Like Kelly's looking real bad coming out of this, and it was weird that everyone was so like passionately defending Kelly because it wasn't a big deal. Tate was very clearly emulating that it wasn't a very big deal. But everyone made it a lot bigger than it needed to be, and them backing Kelly up was just proving that. So,
well, he proved that the blog. She said she made the comment she doesn't like to put makeup on a Friday and go to work, which is a ridiculous comment for people that live this fucking dream job that have no idea. You know, maybe you haven't worked other place where you have to grind every week. It's a different world. And then he also said, like, it is a great point that she had the OnlyFans pinned to her account. I mean, how do you say that he can't say anything about that when you pin that to your Twitter account? I mean, come on, man. It's not like she was like she had it in the obscure and he just went and found it. It's right on your account, pinned. So I mean, it was a great point by him. I thought he did really well. I actually like him. I know he's kind of a shit stirrer, but I like that. So I thought he did a good job.
You don't like Keeks' tenacity though?
Oh, she's crazy.
Like,
I'm not down on her. I just said I'm more up on him for riling her up like that because it was good. I liked it. She is good. I like her. Yeah, I'm not down on her. She is soft.
All right, cool. I think she just fights back.
Yeah.
I think people don't like that. All right.
So
I got 2 downs now.
We're up. I did my last up, so now you're gonna go first. I don't even know.
I got you. I got you, Kane. My
Mm-hmm.
first down is going to be it's a Barstool person as well. It's Frank the Tank. That dozen performance was just cringe. I get like his whole shtick and like that's been him the whole time, but it was painful to go through. Like a lot of times I found him funny when he does some of that stuff, but this time just not good. Stock is down on Frank, on the big boy.
I've never been a fan of Frank, so I don't even, I understand his popularity. I guess I know he's popular. Obviously, people love him, but he's definitely a weirdo. And Dave Portnoy made a great point on the show that he was doing a podcast for 20 years to nobody, So for people to say it was like an act, it's not an act. The guy,
I don't think it's an act either. But at the same point, like when Clemmer last week said, if Gus can't play basketball or doesn't know the rules, he shouldn't be playing basketball. If Frank can't do a trivia tournament without derailing it and making it about himself because of his emotions, then maybe he shouldn't be playing trivia.
No, just knock him out. I don't even blame if he says you're not playing.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah.
So you think everything's about Frank? That's what I don't like about him. He thinks he's the only one in the world that exists. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I've always been back and forth on Frank. Just like I've never really like purposely followed what he's doing or anything. I purely go only off of clips that get posted, and sometimes it's funny, like, but only sometimes. The rest of the time, it's just kind of like, oh man, I could not be like actually around this person. I could only see it from a distance. Like if I was around this person, especially like during the Sunday streams, if I'm trying to watch football, like if the Colts are playing the Dolphins and I'm trying to focus on the Colts, and I just hear this dude screaming about the fucking Dolphins every time, I would lose my shit probably in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it. I would kick him out. I would drag him out. I would be so fucking pissed. Like I can't do that.
I would never turn on a Colts Dolphins Frank stream.
No,
I would never do that to myself.
Oh my god.
Especially next year when Richardson's tearing him up and
exactly. Like he's not gonna like that.
If he can stay healthy, we'll see.
Yeah, shoving linebackers in the ground. I can't wait.
All right, Fax, you're up.
All right. my first down, and this proves that I have accountability. So you're welcome, everybody. My first down is facts.
There we go.
Per Ted Sarandis, I am single-handedly taking down Mike and the Minifans. And when you
another
see,
one.
when
He's
you
taking
see
another
this,
one. Go ahead. Sorry.
I need to be accountable. And Ted, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you can't deny that if I'm listed as the #1 worst Minifan on the network right now, that has to be a down. We have to keep ourselves accountable. So apparently I need to be better. I need to do something better. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm just going to keep it riding, and maybe one day Ted will turn around, because I'm sure I'm confident in myself that most of the other people will turn around. I mean, Kane, you started off, you were like, I don't know. But then you're like, okay, he's not that bad. So I feel like I can get Ted on my side.
Well, I will say, first of all, Ted, you can't blame the person that's willing to come on the show, because the booker, John from Scranton, sending out, text from Mike and the Minifans at 6:00 at night, and then he's available. It's not his fault. He's not taking down anything. He's actually showing up, or there wouldn't even be a show. So I thought that was a little rough. But you see, Ted, he has his little holes, right? So he had Visionless Dave as 2 again. He just hates Visionless Dave. So he's always says, I'm about, being the guy who says it how it is. But Dave is good on air. I don't think anybody denies that. Dave's good. Dave is good on air. So Ted has his little people that he knocks around. So you'll be there. Don't worry, Fax. You just rub his belly and you'll be up there soon enough. Don't worry.
We do what you got to do.
You're not going to go on Mike and the Minifans and flip them off, are you? Come on.
I don't think it's that deep to me, but.
All right. All right, I'm up. I got 2. Oof. I'm going to have to go with Luke first. I'm going to have to take out my battle with him first. So I thought he was very sensitive. I don't know much really about him, but when you rattle somebody is when they just keep bringing you up. I got a few of these people that are in some different chat groups and stuff. And the more they bring you up is the more you're rattling them. They're just coming at me. It's kind of what it was doing in the show. And I was just like, what's going on here? Like, you're all right, man. It's just a show. No need to get rattled about every little thing and be sensitive, but you're very sensitive. He couldn't handle it. I thought so what's 4 times 4? Tell me out, PSC. 4, 16, right?
Do you really? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's 16. Yeah. I thought that was a rhetorical question.
All the same amount of words that he said on the show. It's one or the other. So he just was very quiet, and that's okay, but he just was very, I don't know, to get his vibe. I asked him to come on here and have him on. I don't have any problem, but, he said, I don't think so.
I think you should have him on.
I will.
I think that's Luke. I've talked to Luke a lot about cricket, and we like sports cars and stuff. He's a good guy. Like I like the little battle you two have, because it's fun. It's fun entertainment during this. Yeah. So I don't want to calm that fire down, because that's entertaining to me, and far be it for me to cancel any entertainment I have going on during this boring summer. But he is a good guy. So I think he should be on. That would be a good little pick right there.
While we wait for Fax for a second, I want to ask you a question. Is your wife still alive after smashing up your bushes? And where are we on that?
We are still it would be the best described as a holding period, because I have to wait to see how I told her before I sign any divorce papers that I'm going to wait to see how these shrubs come out. She got really lucky last night, because it poured last night. It wasn't supposed to rain. It hasn't rained for like 2 weeks, but it poured. So that may be some help for the shrubs. Other than that, it's just a holding period right now to see what the shrubs do. I'm firmly committed to leaving her ass on the curb if they don't come back. But I am a man of my word, and I said I am going to wait to see how the final product comes out on these shrubs. So we are going to wait on that, but I'm going to stick to my word if those shrubs don't come back. I like that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, that's nice, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I got my second down. I'm going to go with something. I know this guy drives me nuts with this, but Portnoy, I don't know if you heard his take on his girlfriend that he has, 25-year-old girlfriend or whatnot. He made the case that yes, he made the case, obviously, that if if he didn't have the money, if he lost all his money, that this girl would still stick around with him because once they meet him, he says the money gets them to meet him and then they stay with him. He must be the most delusional person on earth. There is no fucking, if he went back and said, oh, I lost all my money, I'm going to go work, and make $65,000 a year. She's not staying with him. What 24-year-old would be with somebody that's 47 years old other than money? Pretty much.
Oh, I agree. But he did clarify that he said there'd be no chance he would ever be in that situation where he'd meet someone like that and get them. But he did say if that did happen, his personality could keep that going.
Yeah, he's delusional. I mean, it's just.
You don't think so?
No, because his personality right now is great. He's rich. They do whatever they want. Everything's good. Everything's going well. When you start having to oh my God, I got to check my bank account if we can go out to eat tonight. The woman's not usually as happy about that per se. If they're 24, they're obviously looking for a meal ticket. I don't know. Maybe she is really different than anybody else. But I would bet I would put $1 million. I'd put $1 million on to say if he went not broke, but if he lost the company, had no money, I don't believe she'd stick with him. Just my personal opinion, but just because of the age gap tells a lot. If she was in her 40s, I would think different of it. But when somebody I always wonder this too. He's 47, 48, whatever he is, right? 47. You can't really keep up with these people. What do you really talk about? I mean, when's the last time you talked to somebody that's 24 years old? I mean, it's so different. I just can't imagine her. Anybody saying I want to stick around with this for, you're going to think I'm going to be 47. He's going to be almost 70. You start to think about those things. And if there's not some incentive, I'm not sure, people love each other, but they also want security and that kind of stuff. So I think it's I think he's just very, very delusional. I don't think that would ever happen in a million years, but I may be wrong.
I don't think it would ever happen in a million years in terms of him meeting her and courting her and getting to the date part. I think there is a chance that she'd stick around if it did get past that point. But I think it's kind of a moot point too, because I don't think he's ever going to, I don't think he would ever get to that.
Matter. It's not going to matter. He's not going to ever be broke, obviously. I mean, I can only imagine how this guy lives. Must be awesome. I'd love to hang out at that Nantucket house for a weekend. I'll tell you that. I love it down there. All right. So you're up, PRC. Then we just did Dave Portnoy's girlfriend take. I don't know if you heard that in the ending show. Too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like a delusional, but.
All right,
PRC, go ahead.
I mean, just to end it, you do have to put it in the parameters of the argument he put. Like, he's saying after the fact. But
no, I get it. But I'm saying if after the fact, all of a sudden you had to go live in, some apartment somewhere. I don't know, man. I have trouble. I mean, I don't know why she would do that, I don't know. Maybe he can say, oh, they love me, but they love you. The money is a big piece of why somebody that's 24 would want to be with you. I mean, anybody that thinks that's not true is just fucking fooling themselves.
Yeah, and I think the variable you're adding is that she is accustomed to that lifestyle, and then you take the lifestyle away from her. I'm assuming he was he worked at like Charles Schwab or something, made like $120,000. He's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I guess from that angle, that's a little different.
Yeah. My second down is I'm gonna go the Good Golf Tournament. That was this week. It was live. They did it once before, and they did half of it on YouTube, and then half switched to Peacock. And I thought this time they were going to go all YouTube, but they did the half YouTube, half Peacock again. I think it's just totally missing the whole thing of YouTube golf. The whole point, the whole philosophical thing of YouTube is for the people. Everybody can watch and all that stuff. I don't get it. So they're definitely on my down list. It's a personal down.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all over the place. Consistency is like one of the main things that keeps me watching shit. And so then if you're switching back and forth, I might even just tune out. I might be like, I can't follow this shit. So fair game.
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
It's like YouTube golf is an exploding genre, and the biggest people are arguably good golf. And they were going to do their first ever like big YouTube golf tournament. Well, this would be their second. Their first one got railed because they did half YouTube, half on network TV. And this time they did it again. They did the exact same thing again. And it's like, why did you do it again if no one liked it in the first place?
Okay.
I get what they're trying to do. I don't like where they're going. Like, we don't need another network TV golf with network TV golf kind of sucks as it is. They never show the people you want to see. So we don't need another iteration of that. Give us some new shit.
Okay. I hope they listen to you.
Yeah.
Oh, they will.
Oh, they'll find out one way.
Oh, yes.
One way or another. Trust me, they're gonna know.
They're
You
going
got
to get
two-
a sternly written letter.
You got 2 of them now, Tim.
Alrighty. So this one just kind of came into my brain, but this is a good down. Within the Barstool realm, I'm gonna go with the case race that the Yak does. The case race that the Yak does. And this is purely a personal opinion. This is not probably a popular one either. But for me, when I just see a bunch of people drunkenly running around and chaos is ensuing, I don't find that personally entertaining. So I watched some of it and I was just like, okay, this is just all over the place. Like, it's kind of a thing. It kind of isn't. Oh, there's someone coming in. Oh, there's like a fucking 20th person coming in. It's not my thing. So especially with how chaotic it was, like, I'm glad that they had fun. Like, I'm not against anyone having fun by all means, but I feel like maybe it was more entertaining to the people in it personally to look back on than it was the people watching it.
What exactly? I didn't watch it, so I have no idea. But what's the thing? What exactly is it?
So to like put it as basic as I can for someone to understand, it's just essentially everyone on the Yak plus a bunch of other guests all coming around and drinking extremely heavily and doing a bunch of crazy shit. And then you're supposed to just kind of like watch the chaos unfold for itself is essentially the best way to put it. And from seeing that from like a secondary perspective, you're just like, it's like those videos that you see like on Twitter or Instagram where someone drunk to something stupid and you're just like, oh yeah, huh? And then you just move on. But instead it was like a much more longer winded type of deal.
Was it a production or was it just like a live thing on YouTube? Did they actually?
No, yeah, it was like, well, I mean, it was produced because they did it one day and then they had to like edit it and cut certain things and edit things around, and then they released it like 2 days later.
Okay.
So, but yeah, not
Maybe
really.
I'll check it out. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I just haven't seen it. No, that's interesting. It wasn't good though. You didn't like it. You just didn't like the whole. It was just too much drunk people running around. It just wasn't entertaining. Or
I think, yeah, and I think it's just because like I'm not a huge fan of the Yak in general.
okay.
Like, I like the people who are on it, obviously, because like I'm a big PMT guy myself. Like, it's a great show. I've listened to it. For the longest time, it was the only Barstool content I ever even consumed. But the Yak itself is just kind of like, to me, it's a lot of funny people trying to out funny each other for a long time. They're always trying to throw in their jokes or jabs, and I'm just like, I can't deal with this because everyone needs to have another joke for something.
Okay.
You know, it's just like not my style, I guess.
I've seen the Yak here and there. I'm not a big fan of it. I like the people on it individually. I just
Yep. Essentially, that's how I see it too. Like, I like the individuals a lot, but yeah, when they're all together, it's just kind of like not really my style.
Did you watch the Ronnie Deutsch part though?
Yes, that part. Okay, that part I did like.
All right, yeah, we do have to clarify because that was probably the funniest 10 minutes of anything I've seen in a long fucking time. That was incredible. Kane, this dude drank like 10 beers in 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Pouring them while like literally getting his ass kicked by everybody in the room. Like, they were trying to tackle him. They were putting him in headlocks, and he still consumed 10 beers in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and there was a video too that came out this morning that he did the whole 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and 9 innings. He did the 9 beers and 9 hot dogs in 3 innings, and then went to the case race. So he's just like this built different psycho. So yeah, I just saw that video.
Sounds like a psycho. I like
30
that.
minutes before we started recording. So I thought I'd mention that in too. So yeah, that part was awesome.
All right, you're up again.
All right. Then my second down or excuse me, my third
yeah.
down. My third down is going to be the CEO of the Menners Minifan Network. Menners.
Wow.
Wow. Swinging
Uh-oh.
big. And not because of like who he is or anything. It's just because the last 2 weeks after Mike and the Minifans, we haven't seen his show.
Oh.
Because I like it when we're hosting or like when wherever we're recording Mike and the Minifans, and then at the end of the show, Menners just comes in and then just like goes line by line and just starts talking shit to everyone on the show. That's hilarious to me. So Menners is down only because it's like when a football team has a bye week and then they like go down like 2 spots in the rankings. It's not really his fault or the team's fault. It's just that you weren't there, so you can't go up. So I need Menners to come back because I miss him talking shit, because I actually find him to be pretty fucking funny when he comes in, and he brings like a sense of chaos that I feel like people really enjoy. So he's down because he ain't showing up. Menners, show the fuck up, man.
He's the biggest star in the network. And I'll say, Fax is like a genius, huh, PRC? He criticizes, He does 3 downs, but he puts himself first. He does some barstool thing that nobody cares about. And then he doesn't criticize Menners, but he say, listen, I'm actually jealous of you because you're doing it the right way. You're doing everything that I couldn't do. So, good job. Great job. I like it. I
don't even know what to say. He's just putting on a masterclass right now with his fucking thing. Like, yeah,
it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. That's professionalism, right there.
How do they do that in like the talk shows?
Exactly.
I don't know. It's your fucking show, Fax. You just take it from here, buddy.
All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's been off. I do miss when he's not there. It's the calls after the show are always awesome. I mean, not the call part, but just the whole, like you said, the riffing. He's. I know my first experience really on Mike. Well, my second time on Mike and the Minifans, he skewered the shit out of me. That was a tough episode, and I remember like he was like I was just like, wow, I couldn't believe the anger coming out of this guy, and I was like, holy shit. And then as I kind of got to realize what he was, there's always humor attached with Menners. I think people kind of take him the wrong way. He always he has his opinions, but he does have a lot of humor behind things that he says. So,
yeah, and I think that's the best way to enjoy him. People definitely take him the wrong way. They think it's always just like some weird personal verbal attack for no reason. But that's the thing. You kind of nailed it right there. Is like there's humor behind it. You know, he also likes to talk shit just like every other human being on earth. So if you can take it with that grain of salt, like it's way better. It's funnier. It's just like he's just talking shit to talk shit. I would do the same thing if I was like around him too. Yeah, it's fun.
Getting shit out in this world is a sign of affection. You know, that's the way
exactly.
That's the way I have to look at it because that's all it is for me. So, all right, PRC, last one.
My last one. I got an audible because I had one and then I was going to switch it to Fax because I thought Fax was just going to throw himself under the bus, and I was going to say that's genius cop out, and I wish I would have done that the first week. Like, you fucking genius. But then he went with Menners, but then he turned it to Menners. But I'm really mad at Menners because he's so good. So he just put on a master class. So I don't even know what to tip my fucking hat. So I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna go with the sun. The sun has been on my list for the last 2 weeks. It has been like 100 degrees and just baking here. My dog doesn't want to go outside. My grass is dying that I spent a bunch of money on to make look good. And you know how I feel about landscaping and landscaping things. I'm very, very partial to that. And it almost killed Stool Presidente last week.
Yeah, man. That's true.
So the sun fucking sucks right now. Until winter comes, and then I'm going to wish it came back. But for now, stock down on the sun.
Sun's very big. You can fit 1 million Earths on the sun, inside the sun. It's crazy. I always think about those global warming idiots. You know what I mean? It's like you think the Earth is going to control that? I don't know. You can fit 1 million of us in the sun. I think the sun makes its own rules. It was hot as shit here too. It's awful. I was like that for a heat wave to come before summer starts. I mean, I'll take it because last year it was so rainy here. It was like a month. It was like rain season. So yeah, it was hot. God.
No, it's hot. It's hot down here too in Georgia, especially because I'm on like the northeast coast in Augusta, right next to South Carolina, and that it's so much worse. I lived in Florida for 7 years, and it's worse than Florida because you don't have that beach breeze to cool things down. Mm-hmm. and then it just beats on you and beats on you. It's like 95 degrees. You're just dying. I'm not working construction anymore too, so I'm not like used to it at all. So when I do go outside, I'm in these fucking long sleeves and long pants because the military is like, yeah, that's a good uniform. And I'm out there just dying whenever I'm going to my car, and then my car's hot as shit too. Fuck the sun right now. Fuck the sun. Down. I agree.
All right. Last down. Man, I don't have too many this week. I got a few, but I don't know if I want to use them. I guess I'll go with in general. Just how bad. I don't know. I don't really care about it. I like when they're winning the dozen trivia team, but they was so bad. I was shocked how much they got smoked by. I know they've been kind of bad all year. But it was just such a fucking disappointment. I watched it because I didn't really watch much when they started losing. And I was like, eh. Then I watched this game, and it was like it's not the same team, I understand, but to be that much worse, and it's kind of surprising. It just shows how much Rico's checked out of it. I thought Kirk was very passive. At that point, you're in the playoffs. Like, you got to go for it, man. If you don't, if you think something's there, you kind of was feeding to those guys. I thought a little too much, but yeah, it was a bad season. And I'm happy to hear he's going to retool next year because it actually is very exciting when they're playing well. I mean, I don't watch the other matches because I don't really necessarily care about that. But when that last year was really fun. I remember it was like appointment watching, So I hope I can get back there. It'll be just another piece to be able to watch for content because someday, guys, this is all going to be over. I mean, I heard Pat Ford say it on that show, which is a great show, Trips in the Office. That it's like, what are we gonna do when this is all over? Because like part of this too is like a big community for me. I like it. I like the people. Like when all of us when he's gone, all of us are really. I mean, all these people that are listening, listen and watch this are all his fans. So at some point, that's all. What are we gonna talk about? It'll be nothing to touch. It's all gonna fade out to black, I guess. And, it's pretty frightening, to be quite honest. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, just enjoy the ride while we're on it.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna end. But yeah, I hope
I didn't know Kane's existential crisis was going to come on the last part.
I mean, true, yeah.
It's going to be tough times. I mean, anything else you guys? Go ahead.
Mick's taking over. So,
well, that's right. That's a good point.
It won't be 3 up, 3 down. It'll just be like Mix and Dicks or something. I don't know. Something new.
Mennor's Fan Network.
The what?
Mennor's Fan Network.
That'd be good.
Did you guys listen to Nick's podcast at all? Or
I didn't listen to this week. I listened to a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't listened to this week's yet.
What do you think about him? What he said about Gus? That was pretty good, huh? His podcast has been really good lately.
I did see that on Twitter, but that's about it. Yeah, but
I got a feel on Monday those two may be in. Got that feeling, because Mick, he said things that he's like, I was wrong. I thought I was trying to, see this guy's way, and now I just hate him again. So that always is. That could be a really good show if they bring those two in. So hopefully that happens.
Truly a great rivalry. I do love it. I love those two going at it. It's fun. It's so fun. It's so
because underneath it, Mick's not happy that it's not him sitting at their Chicago.
Oh yeah, he's very bad at hiding that.
Yeah, and that's what this is really mostly all about because I don't know. I think Mick's decently talented. I think once he puts it all together, I mean, when I really enjoy his podcast. He was down for a little bit. He was having some terrible shows, but he's come now. The last one he just put out, I thought was really good. So I'm rooting for Mick. I hope he goes in there and battles because we all love that. So that's all I got. I guess we'll wrap it up now. So thank you, Timmy Fax. Great job of not criticizing anybody like I knew you wouldn't. PR.
You did it in a genius way, though.
Yeah, that's true. You
got to just tip your hat to that. That was just.
I'm not smart like you. I should have.
Hey, a diplomat at the end of the day, watch Open Borders to watch me criticize somebody. It was a slow week. Maybe one time when we have like a full episode.
Well, we're gonna have you teased Open Borders, so we're gonna get something big there, right?
Yeah, you'll get something out of that one for sure.
I'll be listening.
All right,
we're gonna wrap it up. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy I don't know how your weather is. We're a little cloudy, but it's gonna be a fun day. Alcohol free. 5 days. Not trying to. Yeah, I'm all done, man. I'm gonna join B-Bag Ron and Pat Ford. I got when you've hit rock bottom is when Robbie V is coming at you. That's when you know you're done. I put out videos I don't even remember. But hey, look, Celtics won a championship, and I'm getting a little old for this. So, yeah,
Good for you, man.
I'll be better.
I'm 90 days. I'm like 90 days myself. So
Yeah, I mean, I
or
don't
somewhere in that area. Yeah.
like. I'm not a traditional alcoholic. I used to go to a lot of meetings before. My wife thought I was, but I don't really crave it. I don't get like obsession about it. But I know if you read that big book, they have something there. They categorize it as like the hard drinker. I think that's kind of where I fall. Where I don't crave it, but I miss the habit. Like usually I would go out Friday, Long Island Fridays. Those are gone now. So now I've had enough with the fast women and all that shit. I need somebody that like, reads and likes to garden.
There you go.
That's what I need. That's what I
Hell
need. So yeah, I'm just gonna calm down and looking forward to it. So anyway, enjoy your day, guys.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
All right, man.
See you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Keep